Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're having a fantastic week. You're probably having a better one than me. So before I start, I'm just going to say massive apologies if all I do throughout this whole vlog is sniff, cough, lose my voice, sound like I'm choking, basically sound like I'm dying. Because quite frankly, I am. And it's been going on for more than a week now, so I've just got to crack on with life, daughter. I can't let a bloody cold try and bring me down, because I've made a stronger stuff than that, so I'm persevering. So I am dosed up with all the medication that you can think of, everything that I can legally take I have put in my system, but is it doing bugger all? Is it buggery? And that is literally why I look like a sack of... I was going to swear, but I'm not going to. But you can imagine what I was going to finish that sentence with. So apologies that if I am like sniffing, because I know I'm one of them people that I can't stand to listen to people sniff, and I'm going to end up doing it. But I have just blown my nose and I can't get rid of anything else. So apologies. But anyway, we're not here to talk about what's going on my face. Although I've even tried to put some mascara on today, and even that's not done me any justice whatsoever, because my eyes are constantly running, so I look like I've been punched now, which is even better. I haven't, I assure you, I haven't. So I'm just sat in Aldi's car park because I've been to group this morning. I've weighed in. I did weigh in last week. I know I put a post out on my community page. If you are subscribed to me, then you'll always see, like, if for any reason I haven't put out a vlog or anything like that, or if there's something going on, I usually do like a little community post, but you'll only see those if you are subscribed to my page. So if you aren't, that's a nice little plug there. Make sure you subscribe, and then obviously you'll get all updates of what's going on. So I did put on a little post just apologising. Literally couldn't speak last week. So it would have been via sign language or something like that. I don't know. Maybe holding up little notes like Art of Love Actually. And I've had to have thought outside the box to communicate with you all. But yeah, I did still go to group though last week, because it was weird. I managed to have a bit of a voice in the morning, and I got up. I felt rough, but I felt semi-okay under the guise of painkillers. I felt semi-okay. Went to group, weighed in. Sorry. Went to group, weighed in, and then it all went downhill from there. Lost my voice, couldn't speak. Temperatures of like 41 degrees. Honestly, I think it was cooler in hell than what it was on my forehead. It was that bad. And poor little Alana, she's had it the whole of the week as well. She was off all week last week, which is not like her at all. She is literally, nothing brings her down, Alana. Nothing brings her down, but this did. And she is patient zero as well. It's all stemmed from her. She's the one that's introduced it to the house. So it's kind of got like a little bit of a life cycle of like 2 to 3 days. So she started coming down with it last Friday. I got it like late Sunday evening to Monday. She still had it. Then I came down with it, and then around about Wednesday last week, Kobe came down with it. He's still ill with it. Alana's only just got over it. Literally, yesterday, Sunday, was her breakthrough. She wasn't getting any more temperatures. She's broke a fever. She's still really snotty, chesty, but she's fine. She didn't need Calpol or anything like that. Sorry, someone's pulled up next to me, so if I look like I'm really weird, that's why. She didn't need Calpol or anything like that for over 24 hours, so that was happy days. So she's gone to school today. Kobe's still full of it, absolutely full of it. I am. And then last night, my husband started to come down with it. So as much as I might have put on my post that he's avoided it, he hasn't. He's come down with it. So, yeah, great. And then the big two, they fester in their own bedrooms all the time anyway, so they have very little interaction with all the old fogies and the little two. But even they've come down with it. They came down with it during the week last week as well. Kieran, he looks like he's got man flu, so obviously he's dying. I'm expecting to go home, and he's just going to be unconscious in his bed. Luckily, he's finished school now. He's just doing an apprenticeship and he's not in, so that's all good. But Alyssa, she's just had to suck it up and go to school regardless. I've had to just dose her up and she's had to go to school because she's already had far too much time off. So, like I've said to her, if you don't cry wolf, then when you are genuinely ill and you need to be off, you can be off. But if you cry wolf all the time when actually you're okay, then this is what happens. So she's all right, to be fair to her. She had the brunt of it over the weekend, and yeah, she's got a little bit of a temperature, but not much. She's a little bit snotty, but again, not much. She is absolutely fine to go to school, and school is really good. I mean, she's in secondary school. School's really good, that if she is ill, they would just send her home. They wouldn't even think twice about it. They'd just send her home. So that's happy days. So yeah, that has been my life. Sorry. My voice just like goes. I get this horrendous tickle in my throat and I can't stop coughing. And the worst part about it all is as much as I cough through the day, and I do, you know, like at regular intervals, but nighttime, oh my goodness, nighttime is horrendous. Any form of breathing I do, whether it's through my nose or through my mouth, just tickles my throat and I'm coughing like every 30 seconds. It's horrible at nighttime. Why does Mother Nature do that to you? Attacks you when you're trying to sleep? You need sleep to get over these things, but no, you're going to be up all night coughing your guts up. And it's not even a cough. It's not even like I've got phlegm on my chest or anything like that. Sorry if TMI, but I'm a very open person. I say it as it is. Black's black, white's white. I will tell you the truth. But yeah, it's not even like I've got anything. I mean, I do, but I don't have anything that I can like cough. So this coughing is literally wasted because nothing is coming from it. It's just the tickle in my throat. So yeah, as you can imagine, I'm feeling amazing. And I've come on today, so I'm feeling even better. So not only am I a snotty, headachy, eye achy, ear achy, throat achy, coughing mess, I'm also a bloated, crampy, hormonal, grumpy, hungry mess as well. So yay, go me. Warts and all on this channel, warts and all. But anyway, like I've already said, we've not come here to talk about what's going on here. Even though I'm a full package, my dieting journey is my life and my life is my dieting journey. So we go hand in hand. But just so you can kind of know what's been going on this past week and why I've been radio silence, basically. Mostly because I can't actually talk. You know, it's 50-50 whether I wake up with a voice at the moment. Some days I do, some days I don't. My husband and kids have found it hilarious because I had a period of like 3 days where I just couldn't talk. And if I did, it came out like that. It was literally like that. I'm not joking you. So they found it brilliant and they've said the house has been the quietest it's ever been. But I think that's because everybody's been ill, so everyone's been quiet. So I don't think it's all down to me. But yeah, like I said, I did go to group last week. If you remember, if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I'm doing the Slimming World plan. But I've been keeping an eye on my calories as well. Because as much as I know that the Slimming World plan works, and it has worked for me in the past as well, to great success, I managed to lose 4 stone just doing the plan. Excuse me, I just need to have a drink. Just doing the plan, not watching my calories or anything like that, I managed to lose 4 stone. So I do know it works. However, I'm a bit older. I'm a bit wiser as well because now I know about calories. But I think the age thing, obviously it's harder to diet the older you get. I'm sure I'm perimenopausal. I'm sure I am. So that makes it harder as well. And I'm not saying, you know, these things are going to inhibit me from losing weight. They're not. Scientifically, they're not. You're in a calorie deficit. You'll lose weight. Don't matter what's going on in your body. If you don't eat as much as what you're burning, you will lose weight. Regardless of any medication you're taking, regardless of any things you've got going on health-wise, you'll lose weight because you're burning off more than what you're eating. I know that. But I think certain things like medications, illnesses, etc., age, you know, activity levels, everything like that can actually make dieting harder because you crave more food, you're a little bit lazier, or at least in my case I am. I'm speaking from personal experience. I'm not saying about anybody else. This is just from my perspective. I'm a little bit lazier. Yeah, I just find it harder at the moment to lose weight. And I think it is definitely reflecting on the scales, because in the past, I've lost weight, no problem. I've just thought about losing weight and I've managed to lose weight doing it, and it's been fine. I'm not saying it's not been a struggle. Obviously it is, because you're restricting anything diet-wise. You're going to struggle. It's hard. But the numbers were coming off, and they were coming off consistently, which was good. Whereas at the moment, I haven't got a frigging clue what's going on. I really don't know. Is it because I'm ill? Am I retaining water? Is it because it's the time of the month? Am I retaining water? I don't know. I think you can hear which way this whole conversation's going with the way that I'm talking, because I'm not going to beat about the bush at all. I went to group last week and I stepped on the scales and I'd gained, so hang on a minute, let me just think about it. So I went to group, was it last, no, right, I'm going to say it from the whole lot. Got my book here. So I went to group, I'm going to go back a couple of weeks. So, right, I started back at Slimming World properly in the new year, started back, and my first proper weigh-in after being back on plan, I lost 9.5 pounds, which was amazing. But if you remember, back then I was bloody ill. Honestly, I've not got a break so far this year, has it? Bloody 2025 can do one already. But I wasn't very well. I was still managing to eat, which was good, but I wasn't very well. However, previous to that, my diet was absolutely shocking. The things that I was eating, the things that I was drinking, just, it was shocking. So for me to lose 9.5 pounds, I am not surprised at all, because a lot of it will have been water retention that I lost. So I am not surprised at all that I did lose that amount of weight. And yeah, it wouldn't have been fat, it would have been mostly water, which was fine. Got it off, it went. And then I went to group the week after. Was it the week after? Yeah, no, I might have had a week off in between. I can't tell. Anyway, I went to group and then I'd gained 0.5 pound. That put me to 2 stone. So I was really, really miffed, because again, I've stuck to plan. It's not a case of I've not been sticking to plan this whole time. I have done what it said on the tin. I have done what Slimming World preach. And I've been keeping an eye on my calories while doing Slimming World. Now, I've not been strict with it. I haven't been strict with it. I've just been mindful of like my free food stuff and given myself a certain amount. And again, I've not been strict with it. So sometimes I've not always put it on the scales, etc. But I've always made sure I've had my at least third speed food, which in my case, I always have half of speed food. If we've had bolognese, for example, it's not just been mince and pasta. It's been mince with peppers, onions, tomatoes, courgettes, green beans, you name it. I've thrown it in there, all the speed into the actual bolognese sauce. Grated carrot, I bulk it out with grated carrot as well a lot. So predominantly it has been speed food that's even been in my bolognese. Then I've had a measured amount of pasta. Again, not being strict with it, but just a measured amount of pasta, thinking, yep, that's enough. Not, you know, it's not too excessive. But before I've even put any of that on my plate, I've filled half of my plate up of salad. So lettuce, cucumber, onions, tomatoes, gherkins, celery, again, grated carrot. I've thrown it all on and I've had all speed food. And that's been half of my plate. And then I've put the pasta on 1/4 of it, and then I've put the bolognese on, which has got a ton of speed food in it, on the other 1/4. So it's not even like I've put half of my plate full of pasta and then I've dumped half of a plate full of bolognese on top. I've not even done that, because then that technically is a full plate full, really, if you spreaded it out past the salad. I've not even done that. I've done 1/4 of the pasta and 1/4 of the bolognese sauce and half a plate of speed. That is how I've been eating all my meals. That is how lunch and dinners have been. And when it's been breakfast time, which this past couple of weeks, I've actually been having breakfast. Amazing. I've been having breakfast. But again, I've been having my healthy extra B, which has been high bran cereal. I've been having a protein yogurt, which is only 1.5 sins. Them vanilla ones from Aldi, absolutely love them. Absolutely miffed today because I've gone to Aldi and they don't have any, none at all, not even any of the protein pouches. So I'm not impressed because now I'm going to have to come tomorrow. Oh, I can't even come tomorrow, I'm working tomorrow. Anyway, I'm going to have to come another day to get some more. And then I've been having loads of blueberries on top. So again, all 100% on plan. 100% on plan. I've not been snacking in between my meals, and if I have, I've turned to speed food. I've had an apple, I've had some more blueberries, I might have chopped up some strawberries, stuff like that, but very rarely I snack in between. Because I have such a decent meal, whether it's lunch, breakfast or dinner, because I have such a decent meal, I don't feel like I need to snack in between. And then on an evening, I might have like another yogurt or maybe some hi-fi bars if I've not had breakfast that morning, or I'll thin them, or, you know, just something sweet, not high in volume, but just something a little bit sweet just to take that edge off. And I'll have like a glass of, sorry, see, it's just random. It just comes out of nowhere. And then I'll have like a glass of Pepsi Cherry Max. Pepsi. Oh, whatever. I have a glass of that. It's thin-free. There's no calories in it. Do you know what I mean? Again, to take the sweet tooth off. So when I say I've been sticking to plan, I've stuck to plan. Yes, my husband, I nearly said my birthday had a husband. No, my husband had his birthday in January. We had a Chinese. But again, I didn't eat it all. I didn't eat it the day after. I wasn't ridiculous. I got chicken and black bean sauce, boiled rice. I think that's 7 sins on Slimming World. I didn't go ridiculous. So I still had that within plan. I didn't even have any birthday cake. No birthday cake was partaken with me. So, yeah. You can hear in my voice that I'm not happy at the moment. I'm not happy. And I hate doing it because I feel like all I've done for probably definitely the last year, but maybe 18 months, is I've yo-yoed back and forth, done this, done that, done this, done that, done this, done that. And I am doing that a little bit today. Because, obviously, I put that £0.5 pound on, which took me to 2 stone loss, which put me to 14 stone 13, exactly, 2 stone loss, £0.5 pound on. And then last week I went to group after I thought, no, Andrea, just stick with it because it'll work itself out. You're obviously just having a blip. You lost loads of weight before. Your body's just realigning. You're not going to keep losing loads of weight because that was obviously a shock to the system. You're feeling better now, because at that point I know I've come down with it again now, but at that point I was feeling good. I was feeling on top of the world health-wise. It was great. I was loving life. I was singing in the sun. All that wonderful jazz hands things. And I thought, just stick with it, because if you don't, you are going to put weight on the week after. That is without a shadow of a doubt. Mark my words, you will put weight on if you do not stick to plan. And then you will be crying on the scales because you've only got yourself to blame. So that's what I did. I had another amazing week on plan. Didn't deviate over my 15 sins. Made sure I kept an eye on my calories. That was all good. Everything was fine. I ate my healthy extras. I weighed and measured them. I was good. I was honestly good. I've got it all logged in my Slimming World app. So I can prove it all to myself. Look, this is what I ate and drank, because there was no point in me lying, because if I lie, I'm only lying to myself, aren't I? I'm only doing myself in if I don't tell the truth and then pick up where my errors are. Because if I don't do that, if say if I was having a sneaky slice of cake every evening, not that I'm a cake fan, but say I was, and I wasn't classing that, and that was sending me over my sins, then when I'm stood on the scales and I've gained weight, or not lost weight, maintained, whatever it is, and I'm like, oh, I don't know why, when in the back of my head I know why, it's because of that cake, then I'm not going to change that mindset. I'm not going to change that behaviour. I'm going to still do the same things, maybe even worse, and eat other stuff as well as, and then I'm going to be in that vicious cycle. So there is really no point in me lying about not being 100% on plan, which I was, because I'm only doing myself in. I'm not putting weight on anybody else. It's only to me. So honestly, when I say I was on plan, I had a great week. I did. I loved everything I ate. I was nice and full. I never felt deprived. I had loads of different fruits, vegetables. I was hitting that half a plate of speed with everything. I was having salads till they were coming out of my ears. I was having soups that were homemade. You know, the Slimming World tomato soup where you put the pickled onions in and the tins of carrots and beans. I was having that. I never put the pickled onions in. I always just put a splash of balsamic vinegar in because honestly, I think it just tastes so much better. But anyway, I digress. I was a walking advertisement for Slimming World. You know, if you would have cut my hand, Slimming World would have poured out. I was a walking advertisement for it. So when I got to group last week, as much as I felt like absolute dog stuff, when I got to group last week, I thought, right, it's going to have paid off. It's going to have paid off. That £0.5 I put on is going to have come off and I'm going to be rewarded maybe with £2 more. That's what I was hoping for. At least £2.5, because then I would have got off that £0.5 plus I would have been around about the marker. Ideally, I'd like to lose £2 a week. That's what I'm aiming for. And that's what I was hoping for. And I think that is doable. Obviously, £1 a week is a lot more doable, but £2 a week would put me perfect into getting my target within this year, and within the first 6 months of this year is what I was hoping for. But hey ho, if it's £1 a week, that is absolutely fine as well, because then I would be at target by Christmas this year. I would definitely be at target by Christmas this year. So fine, whichever way my body wants to go, slow and steady, or, you know, doing me a favour by losing that £2, whichever way. So I thought, right, Andrea, it's going to be great. You're going to step on the scales, the sun's going to shine, you're going to hear angels singing, you're going to be so happy, you're going to do a backflip off of this bad boy. That did not happen. How I did not kick that scale out of the window, taking the way lady with it, I have no idea. I have no idea. I know it's not her fault. It's not her fault. I love her to bits. She's amazing. She's just very she non-judgment at all. She just tells you as it is. That's what's happened. She just tells you as it is. And yeah, love her for it. She's amazing. But yeah, how I didn't go on a massive rampage, I have no idea. Of throwing chairs around, high-five bars at everybody. Yeah, I don't know. Tea and coffee spilt. I don't know. I didn't. But I managed to keep my shit together. There, I have sworn. No. Because, yeah, I stepped on those scales and I only went and bloody gained again. £0.5? No. £1? No. £1.50? Yes. £1.50? I gained £1.50 last week. £1.50. What in the actual £1.50? Angry doesn't even come close to how I felt. Oh my goodness. Because honestly, I know I've said it a million times already, and you're going to be like, Andrea, move on. Let's get past it, you know. PTSD and all that, just move past it, come on. But I stuck to plan, so how the hell did I gain £1.50? And Mother Nature hadn't hit then. She wasn't due to hit then. I've literally come on today, this morning, like clockwork. So why the hell did I gain £1.50 last week? I have no idea. So, being the little geek that I am, because I was confined to my bed anyway, because I could do bugger all else, and because I do log absolutely everything on my Slimming World app, because I just find it really helpful, instead of having a million pieces of paper flying around where I'm writing everything down, I went through my Slimming World app, through my meal plan, and I logged everything on my calorie app, the Team RH one that I'm using, or that I have been using in the past. Then stopped using because I was doing Slimming World, but using it for how many calories I should be on, but then ignoring it after that. And then I went and put it all through my app. And therein lies the problem, my lovely people. I overate, basically. all week last week. Yes, it was all on plan, but I overate. I overate by a considerable amount. On average, I was eating around about 2,300 to 2,500 calories a day. A day. Doing the Slimming World plan. So no wonder I put on weight. I am not surprised, because for the activity levels, I've put everything back through, because originally when I joined Team RH, it was for my old weights and everything like that. So when I've done it this time, when I re-looked at everything, I've put everything through. And for me to be in a calorie deficit, I need to be eating no more than 1,800 calories. But then I need to be hitting a certain amount of steps and protein goals, sorry, fibre goals, all that jazz. But yeah, that week I overate. So for example, very typical day that I was having. So I had my high bran, that's Asda's own, like all bran. I was having that, the measured amount. I was having that with a cheesecake. I made it into a cheesecake, I should say. So I was having that. I just melted it down with a bit of hot water, and it sets lovely. Put it in the fridge, put it in your little bowl, and it sets lovely like a little biscuit base. So you can have like 50 grams of that. So I was doing that, setting it, then getting my Aldi protein yogurt, scooping that in. Because it's a protein yogurt, it's lovely and thick. The vanilla one, gorgeous. Putting that on top, again, setting it in the fridge. And then when I was ready to eat it, I'd put a handful of blueberries on the top. So that is all 100% on plan. 100% on plan. So I'd had that for my breakfast, which was my healthy extra B. And then it was 1.5 sins, and it was speed. So all on plan. And it was amazing. Filled me right up through till lunch. Then for my lunch, I'd have a jacket potato, and a decent sized one, like not a little piddly tiny thing, you know, a jacket potato, a proper jacket potato. I'd have that, and I'd either have it with tuna mayo, and again, which I would weigh out, and I have now got the lighter than light. I'm not a massive fan of it, but for the calories, it is, you know, it's like what, half a sin a tablespoon versus 2 sins per tablespoon of the Heinz light mayo, which is my absolute favourite. But for the calories, I was like being good. Or a lot of the time, because you've got to limit the amount of tuna you eat a week because it's full of like mercury and things like that. I think you're only meant to have like 2 cans of it a week or something. I definitely eat over that, so maybe that's half my problem. But then I might have like cheese and beans, jacket potato. So I'd have like a load of beans, because again, you can do with Slimming World, you can have a load of beans. So I'd have not like a full tin's worth, but I'd have a decent amount of beans. And then I'd have my healthy extra allowance of cheese on top. Or I'd have the tuna, like I say, with a mayo. And then I'd have a big salad on the side. Fine. All on plan, which was great. And then for my dinner, I'd be making something like spaghetti bolognese, or we'd be having like a lasagna, or I'd do like a stir fry, or I'd make a curry and I'd have it with rice. Whatever I'd do, or I'd have like a Slimming World meal. Whatever I'd do, I'd either have very minimal sins in it, or it'd all be free and speed, whatever I was making. And then, yeah, I might have something on an evening. Sometimes I might have something during the day. But again, it was all within my sins. So then I've put just one of my typical days through that I was eating. And my jacket potato with the cheese and the beans and the salad really, really opened up my eyes. The jacket potato alone with everything was like 800 calories. I'm not even joking you. Just for a free lunch. It was all on plan, but it was like 800 calories. My evening meal was like 1,000 calories. My breakfast was like 400 calories. My milk on top of it was like, what, 150 calories or something like that. And then any other extras I had on top also had calories. I might have a banana, that's 100 calories. So you can see where it's all coming from. And then as soon as I put it all through my calorie counter, I was like, for flip's sake, no wonder I've put weight on, because I've been eating like this all week. So yeah, great, amazing. more work to undo, basically, last week. So anyway, I well and truly spat my dummy out. I stomped, I screamed, I said a lot of colourful words. I had a word with myself, and then I sat down with pen and paper and I planned this past week out. Planned it, pen and paper, phone in hand, app in hand, looking at my meals and basically calorie counting everything. Yeah, that is exactly what I've done. Now, when I say that, I have still had Slimming World in the back of my head, because as much as I am PO'd with them right now, and I had a proper bitch fit, as much as that is the case, I do still really like Slimming World. It's like a really vicious cycle that I'm in. That, you know, Slimming World's doing me bad at the moment, but yet I can't keep but going back to it like I've got Munchausen's or something. I can't keep but going back and seeing it in this amazing light. And I've got a big appetite. I'm a big appetite kind of girl. So, like, yeah, you could say, well, maybe just have a little bit of less free food and all that sort of stuff. I know, because I say it to myself. But if I'm hungry, I'm hungry. And yes, I might be eating the foods that are on plan, but clearly they are pushing me way over what calories I should be eating. So I've had no choice but to rein it in, really look at my protein and really look at my fibre, because again, I wasn't doing that last week. And then stick within my calorie deficit, which is 1,886 to be precise. So I've really had to do that. So I sat there, pen and paper, planned everything out, put everything through my app, obviously rough estimations to make sure I was in my calorie deficit every single day, to make sure I was hitting my protein goals, to make sure that I was hitting my fibre goals. Carbs and fat, not really bothered about at all, because it really makes no difference when it comes to losing weight, whether you're high fat, high carb, low carb. As long as your protein, your calories and your fibre is on point and you're in a deficit, you will lose weight regardless of what those other two are doing. So I've not been looking at those, been making sure I drink my water, and yeah, and that's what I did. I did that all week last week. So I've made sure that I've hit all my goals and thought, right, let's just do this. Let's just calorie count for the week. We'll keep Slimming World in the back of our mind, of that we won't go wild with cheese. We won't go wild with and spend all my calories on cheese or milk or bread. We will stick to that mindset of just having like that one bready product, etc., unless we're going to sin it, that side of things, you know. And again, because you only get a certain amount of sins, you can't go wild. You could maybe have 2 bready products a day within your sins and your healthy extra, and then that's it. So I've had that in the back of my mind. I've still been sticking to the whole half of my plate full of speedy foods, which obviously I've been calorie counting. I've counted them all, even my lettuce. You know, like 60 grams of lettuce at only 4 calories, but I've still been counting it. And then I've been counting all my other stuff, again, making sure I'm really focusing on the protein and the fibre. And I think that is the key. I do think the protein and the fibre has been the key this week, because as much as I've been super hungry while I've been doing Slimming World and I've been eating big portions, this past week while I've been calorie counting, as much as I've been in a deficit, I've not been massively hungry at all. I've been satisfied when it's come to the end of the day and I've eaten all my meals that I've planned out, like specifically making sure that they fit all my macros. I've been satisfied by the end of the day. I'm not going to bed hungry. I'm not waking up starving or anything like that. I'm just waking up normal hungry and then having breakfast, which has been a massive improvement and change for me, which has been really good. And I think it's because I've been filling up on a lot of protein, because when I put the week previous through, when I've gained 1.5 pounds, I was hardly hitting my protein, and believe it or not, I was hardly hitting my fibre, which I thought I would definitely smash my fibre goals out of the park with eating such a healthy diet. But no, I wasn't. So because I'm filling up on those 2 elements specifically, I've just found that I've been so satisfied. I've not needed to snack between meals, and if I have had something, it's been either like a protein yogurt or it's been like an apple, maybe a boiled egg. But again, very rarely. I've been quite happy with my 3 meals a day. And then I've had a pudding on an evening, which again has been like one of those protein mousses or the puddings. Or Aldi at the moment have a white chocolate pudding, protein pudding. Oh my goodness, it tastes like Cadbury Milky Buttons, Milky Bar, or Milky Bars, even them themselves. It don't have to just be the bottom version. It can be the actual bar, but it just tastes like the Milky Bar. Amazing. I've like bought 6 of those bad boys today. But yeah, and I've been having that, and honestly, genuinely, hand on heart, I have felt great with what I've been eating. Great. So again, everything crossed getting on the scales, because this week I know I've done it right. Yes, steps could always be improved because I've been abysmal. Yes, water could still be improved because I've not felt like drinking too much water, because again, I just feel like I've just wanted hot drinks or pop. So those areas could be improved. My sleep has been shocking because I've had the 2 little people in bed with me while my poor husband has been on the blow-up bed. But that's just because they've been so ill through the night that I've had to have them in bed with me so that I could just pump them with Calpol and ibuprofen when the temperatures spiked. And they were just coughing that much. They were constantly waking themselves up. Otherwise, I'd have been up and down, because we've got 3 levels to our house. I'd have been up and down the stairs all night, so I'd have got even less sleep than what I got. And we've got a super king-size bed, so there was plenty of room for all 3 of us. And it's any excuse to have my little babies in bed with me, isn't it? And they've absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. My husband's loved it, believe it or not, because he's not being disturbed. He's having a full night's sleep, not being disturbed by any sick people. So he's loved it as well, because the blow-up bed is like a king-size one as well. So it's not even like that's bloody small. Everything is go big or go home in our house. So yeah, keeping everything crossed for getting on the scales this morning. I thought I have to have a loss. I have to. So last week I was weighing in at 15 stone and half a pound, with 1.5 pounds gain that week. This week I've stepped on the scales. Yeah, I've had a loss. Yay! I've had a loss. I bet you thought I was going to say I haven't then, or I'm a really terrible actress. But I have had a loss, and I've lost £2. Get in. I've lost the amount that I want to lose. Yes, I would have loved it to have been more. I would have loved it to have been more, because I'm a greedy cow. I would have loved it to have been more, but it wasn't. It was £2, and that is fine, because that £0.5 pound I put on, and then that £1.5 that I put on has gone. Sayonara, sucker. Go away. So I am now 14 stone, 12.5 pound. So I'm at 2 stone, £0.5 pound loss in total. So yeah, so happy. £2 gone. And I'm on. I've come on. I am as bloated as a beached whale. I am. I know I am retaining water right now, because my belly, I look about 6 months pregnant. So for me to lose £2 and to be on my period, amazeballs. I am so happy with that. I'm going to take it. I'm running. I'm throwing sparklers and happy dust and all the good things that are nice and shiny, because I'm so happy that I've lost £2 this week, and it's worked. It's worked. Now I feel like I'm setting myself up for failure for next week, because technically it should work again. Maybe not £2. I would love it if it was £2, but maybe not £2, but it should definitely work again, and I should get a loss next week. And that's what I'm going to do. I am going to continue calorie counting. So much so, I've put all my meals through today. I've already had my breakfast. I'm going to go home and I'm going to have my lunch. And again, it is going to be following the Slimming World mindset, but it is all going to be run through my calorie counter, and it's going to bypass my scales. It's got to save me basically from going insane, because I'm on a weight loss journey. And there is no point if the only thing that I'm doing is putting on weight consistently. There's no point in being on it, is there? Because I'm trying to lose it. I need to lose the chub. I've got 4 stone to go. I need to lose it. And putting it on isn't acceptable. So I'm doing what I can only do, and that is taking back 100% of the control. And I'm weighing it. I'm weighing it. I'm counting it. That's what I'm doing. So with that in mind, we've got a night out on Friday night. Whether we're going to be well enough to go, I don't know. It's one of our friend's daughter's 18th birthdays parties. So obviously alcohol will be involved. Food will be involved. Like I say, if I have small little people that are unwell still, because my mum is going to come over to, not my mum, scrub that. My husband's mum is coming over to look after the little people. The two bigger ones, our two older children, are going to come with us because obviously it's their friend. Obviously they're not drinking because they're underage. Naughty, naughty. But yeah, if the littlies aren't well, I'm not going. I'm not going. I know that my mother-in-law could quite easily handle them, no problem, because she's a great nana, she's a great mum, so she will handle them, no problem. But it's just me. I need to be with them if they're feeling unwell. I'll let my husband and the big two still go. They can go and have a good time, and I'll be taxi. Although they can get a taxi afterwards. But yeah. So other than that, if I end up going, there is nothing else to get in my way. So we'll just see. So I'm hoping for a loss next week still, because I won't be on my period by then. So that should help. And I will have been really good all week. So that should help. As long as I eat before I go, which is all calorie counted, and then as long as I stick to something like vodka and Diet Coke, then it shouldn't be too bad. Because again, I've got small people at home. I'm not going to be getting paralytic. I'm not. I have to tell myself that many times. Because I have small people to look after the day after. So it's not fair on them, and it's not fair on me to have my head down the toilet. So yeah, other than that, nothing else to get in my way. So fingers crossed. I'm hoping to get a what I eat in a day out this week. I've done my food shop. I'm not going to be able to do a food haul, unfortunately, because as much as I've gone to Aldi today, yesterday I had to go to Lidl and I had to go to Asda to get other bits that I just can't get from Aldi. And obviously that's all been put away because that was yesterday. So I'm not going to do a food haul this week, but I will try and get a what I eat in a day out, at least one of them. And yeah, and then fingers crossed for next week. Fingers crossed. So this is the world's longest vlog in the history of man. If you have managed to make it to the very end, and I only planned on doing a short but sweet one, but if you have managed to make it to the very end, then oh my goodness, well done you. Thank you so much for putting up with me. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble. It feels very cathartic to get it off my chest. And I'm so glad that I've managed to share it with you all. But really, actually, this is 2 weeks worth. So 43 minutes that I'm at the moment isn't actually too bad. Because normally it's around about half an hour per weigh-in, isn't it? So as long as I'm under 60 minutes, and that's all good. But anyway, I am going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for watching. If I don't see you before, I will see you next Monday for another weigh-in update. And let's keep fingers crossed. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, I hope you're all doing really, really well. Drop a comment down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. It massively, massively helps. And make sure that you like the video as well. Because again, it all helps with that algorithm and boost it up. So anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much again, and I will see you next time. Bye.